Hi guys, sorry to be tardy. So class ran just a few minutes over, so I was having a little challenge getting myself together. But hi, how are you guys today? Hope you had some quilting fun and a pleasant week. The weather here has been incredibly awesome. I've really enjoyed it. It's amazing. So let me see if I can change our lighting a little bit. It seems kind of dark to me. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, that's sound and lighting. So if you can hear me good, can you let me know? Because I can't tell if you guys can hear me okay. All right, let's get rid of all that stuff. Okay, let's sew. So today I've been gardening all week and I've had a lot of fun. So I'm creating just a little garden scene here. So we'll just put some like little, something like that. That'll be our garden path. What I thought we would do is just make a couple of random flowers and talk about some things like dimension and how that can impact your ability to make a flower. I don't know if it's my glasses or what, but I cannot see a darn thing. I hope it's not as dark for you as it looks for me, because I just cannot see very well right now. Is that better? Oh, I think that's a little better. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing I want to share is when we make a flower, there's obviously the base symmetrical ones, and that means that you start in the center, and if you need some reference lines to kind of help you get your flower, you can just go ahead and just draw some little reference points. What that allows is as we draw the flower, we can use that as the reference. So when we come out, we're curving into the point, and this one, will kind of make him fit. If we wanted to, we can even scribble in there, or you could come back and you could scribble in there with a different color. That would be another way to do it. So this is the first piece, just making some type of little visual reference line so that we can start a little flower. And proportionally, I want my flowers to be a little bit big, so we're going to do a little stem maybe. And then we'll put this little 5 petal, I guess we'll start right there. So, and then let's see, here, and 1, 2. So it doesn't matter if they're perfectly symmetrical, because flowers might be and they might not be, right? It's okay. So if I wanted the petals to be longer, then I could make those lines a little bit longer. And it's okay sometimes if like one line is shorter than the other, then that creates a little bit of dimension. Like one part of the flower is bigger, so that part is closer to you, and the other part is a little further away. So I'm going to kind of round it out and curve into the top, and round and curve into the top. Okay, and you can see they're not perfect. They don't need to be. So round, extend that, and I can even make this leaf can be behind. So right there, we kind of made him like he's behind. He doesn't have the full arc right there. And if you want a little more definition, you can just put a little curvy in there. So I think I will cut these threads now that we're all tacked in. I'll cut that because we don't need them in our way, right? So, and again, we don't have to turn anything. We can just okay. Now, if I want to put my stem in, I can either travel down and I can come back over here, or I can just kind of wing it. So let's just kind of do that. So I'm going to make it wider at the bottom and then kind of narrow it out to the flower. And if I want to put in a leaf, and then I can just echo that. I don't need to travel right on the line. Just by echoing it, I can just create a little more definition right there, a little more dimension. Just adds a little bit of visual interest. If I want another leaf, I can come over and I could travel up and put a leaf on this side. I'm not going to do that right now, but I can. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and talk about the next flower. So this is a 5-petal, and all we did is kind of create a vague reference line, and we just curved and then pushed this up a little at the tip. This side tends to be a little bit more straight as far as just coming down. You can see here, this is more straight, more straight. So the curve is only on one side. It can be on both sides, but I think this kind of controls the shape for me a little better. So let's go ahead and we'll cross our landscape. We'll do our little, and we'll just put some little grass in there, because we have our little daffodils coming up. And we can put as many as we want. I mean, we could keep adding more and more, but I'm just going to show a couple of shapes today, possible flower shapes, but you know that there's a million, right? We could have as many as we wanted. All right, so we're kind of in this middle space, so let's draw the next one. So a lot of flowers have some type of center, right? So we're going to kind of come up and we're going to make a center. We can make it a circle or we can make it a spiral. It doesn't matter. And then just come back out. And I think that sometimes if you want to put, you know, some lines like that, that's going to help you to segment it. So we'll come out and we'll do a little U shape, and we want to stretch it a little and come back to the middle. So out and then stretch it and the middle. Out and stretch it. And they don't have to be symmetrical. Again, it's okay if they're not. This allows us to kind of figure out how many of them that we can fit, right? So this is a certain amount of them, you know, however many lines that we had put, we centered that on the line. So if we want more petals, we can add more lines for reference. The other thing is we don't have to make this a straight U. You can make it a little S like that. So we come out and you go out and in to the top. So like this one, out and in to the top. And this is going to create a little different shape. That's a little more three-dimensional. It would not have this line unless you added it. So if you did this, you would go out and up, and then you could come back and come back and come in. And that's how you could add this to create this little bit of a turned over leaf kind of thing, or a ruffle. You can also make it more ruffly. I mean, it doesn't have to be just one. It could be lots of different loops. So, hi, Inga, Marie. Let's see if there's any comments or questions. I just like started. I've already been sewing for about 3 hours now, so I think I'm a little tired, mentally tired. I just want to say hi. Hi, everybody. So what do you think? Is it spring for you where you're at? Are you interested in flowers? Are you interested in gardening? So let's go ahead and we'll put this one. And what I kind of want with this guy when I make his stem is I'm going to try to make him like a little wispy, like it crosses over when it comes back down. So this is the one we'll do next. All right, we'll put him this way so we can see. And, you know, if you need the line, or if you just want to say, okay, the top of my flower, so this one's really high, so we can make this one a little shorter. And maybe we'll make this one, like if this is the flower, let's make a little partner so that we have a little grouping of them. So here we said we're going to make a little center, and then we'll come back out, and let's do the little lines. I should have done those first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That kind of looks even, give or take. So these are the center. So you're thinking about the space right there for each one. So here we'll go over and push up and come in, push up, and we'll do this one little flourish here. This would be like as you come down, you can just do some kind of curve like that. So I'll just show you that one. So we can even leave it open. It doesn't have to touch if that's cleaner and you like that better. And all of these, if we want to make the the flower have a little bit more dimension, you can just go like this. And here we can do it on the inside if there's not enough room. We'll get a little extra stitching. This will also allow us to fill up some space here if we had too much space, like if that gap is too big and we didn't like it. So, and here we can even just go a little bit on the inside, right? That's going to make it look like there's some layers right there. And this one's kind of pointy, so if we wanted to kind of gentle out that point a little bit. Here we can just echo this one. Oh, I love this flower. It turned out so good. Look at it. Ah, love it. It's so pretty. Okay, and this one we said we're going to kind of do a little ribbon. So right as we go here, we're going to cross over. So this is the stem. It's kind of skinny, but that would let us put, you know, whatever we wanted. But I love the definition of that. Doesn't that look so cool? So, you know, anything goes. You don't have to feel like you're constrained. You can just make your own fun garden. The last one we're going to show you is the concept of how you can create a little bit of dimension so that it looks like it's leaning towards the sun. So let's say that this is our flower, and we'll just make a partial. We don't even need to make a full circle. You know, could be whatever. Could be, doesn't have to be a circle. It could even be scribbly. But don't make a full circle. Let's see, can you see that? Let's see, I got to get my screen cleaned up. Right, so half of a circle. Well, then when you're making your parts, you just don't have to make all of them. Right? And then this can be the body right there. So this is kind of showing that he's leaning, and then if we make these ones bigger here, and then we can kind of narrow out this one on the bottom, it says that there's dimension, something behind that. So like this little one is the foreground, and then these ones are kind of big, but they have multiple layers. So you can then even echo that maybe a couple of times just to create that extra layer behind each one of those. Okay, let's try that. So, and let's see, let's put some little, we'll put some little greenery. So here we'll put some little bushies, because we can't have our garden empty, right? So these will be like little little bells. Then we'll put a little bell on that side, and we'll put a little curvy on that side, and then we'll just echo that back. Okay, now this guy, we're gonna put some little definition in here so we can have our little mountain. And then I'm going to turn him over so you can see as we do the flower on this side. So we want to make him kind of look towards the other guys. So let's determine our height. So we'll kind of put him centered maybe about right here. So we'll put like a little D, almost like a cone flower. And we'll make, actually, let's do this. Let's make it come so it comes right in like that. Ooh, I like it. That's going to make it look like he's kind of leaning over a little bit. Ooh, it's going to be fun. Ready? And let's do our stem here before we do our flower. That way we can get that in. So I'm going to do a straight line here and a shallow D. And we wanted the small one at the top, so I think I will come back up here and I'll do the top first. And then graduate these, make these a little smaller as we go. And then I can travel up this. So the shadow gets a little bit smaller as we go, and then a little bit wider here as we go. And then that kind of creates that look like he's leaning over and kind of connecting with his little partners. Oh, I forgot to do my little other partner. We're going to make him have two. So let's come back down here. Again, you can kind of overstitch, and it's okay if your line's not perfect. We don't care. I think this one, if we are saying that the sun is on this side, then we kind of need one that will go on this side. So let's see, I'll take them off. Let's cut them. So these are just a couple of fun ideas for some different flowers, and you can, do them all straight in a line. You can make ones going different directions. So like you can have two going this way, one going that way if you're in a border, or you can just kind of do them randomly and just put them in. One of the things that I'm working on this, I have an applique design that has applique flowers, and I was trying to think about, what's my path and how am I going to go around those elements and create sort of the looks and dimensions. So I wanted to just play and think about the ideas and think about the shapes of those flowers before I started those on my spring table runner, which I'll be working on. So what I'll do is I'll post a picture of that, and maybe that'll be something fun that we can start working on with Freemotion Fridays, and that'll be then an actual quilt project where you get to see decisions that are made as we quilt actual elements. And that is an applique project, so we'll be going around the applique elements as well to try to give them more definition, and that will most likely be either trapuntoed or double batted for sure. So that'll be something that we'll start working on in the next couple weeks, and I'll give that a project name. And that way when we put those in the playlist, that'll probably have 4 or 5 weeks of getting that quilted. And we'll be talking about threads with that, how to emphasize the applique, how to go around applique so that they can lift, and how to fill in if you need quilting inside of an applique. How do you do that, especially if it's got a little thickness to it from any fusibles or things like that. So that's going to be our next topic, and that's kind of where this is leading into. I gardened all week, so my hands are like beat up. Look at that. So got some bruising, got some bug bites, but I got the garden in despite our blustery hilltop position. So very excited to get back out there, and I'll bring some pictures of those next time for inspiration. Okay, you guys, I haven't had breakfast yet, so I'm gonna go have some breakfast. I hope you have a wonderful day. A reminder that the second Sunday of each month going forward is going to be long arm ruler work education. It will still have design ideas for everyone, but I will be showing the techniques on the long arm. And that is because that is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I feel like our long arm people with the Westerly products have kind of gotten the short shrift for a while. So we're going to try to bring them into the fold and show them our awesome tools. But if you still want to participate, the designs still can be done, of course, by everyone on whatever machine that you have. So I just wanted to let you know that so you wouldn't be surprised, and have a lovely day. I will see you later.